And also, my friend Aaron Whaley is here from the Whaley Law Firm, and we're going to get pretty specific today to talk to him about if you're in an accident, some of the questions he receives, and we'll get some specific answers. Aaron, welcome back to the show. You're going to be on every week with me for a while, and I appreciate your information.
John, I appreciate you having me on here, and I got to tell you, I love that mask you just had. It was fantastic. I don't think I can pull that off, though. I think that's a you thing.
I don't know. I think this is a little bit too flashy for me, but I think my wife is probably going to love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron, let's talk a little bit about if you're in an accident and questions you receive often. I would think the number one question might be, what is my case worth? How do you answer that one?
John, I get that question all the time.
I bet you do.
And I tell you what, it's a real simple answer. The answer is no idea. And clients kind of give me a puzzled look often when I give them that answer. It's like, you're the attorney. You should know how much my case is going to be worth. And in fact, I have some clients who come to me and say, well, I talked to some other lawyer and they told me my case was worth such and such amount. And if you've just been in an accident and you get an information about how much your case is worth from another attorney, then one of three things is happening. Either they are guessing and they're just trying to get you to sign a contract with them, or they can get you that amount quickly and it doesn't represent the full value of your claim, or they can see the future. And I tell them, if you have an attorney that can see in the future, you should absolutely hire them. And in fact, please give me their name because I have some questions that I would like to ask them. Assuming that they can't see into the future, then they're not giving you an answer that's real, because there's so much that goes into determining the value of your claim. Sitting here next to me or in front of me a week or 2 weeks or even a month after you've been in an accident, there's just no way that I can determine that. So let's say you've been in an accident, okay? And let's say it was a week ago and you went to the hospital after the accident and you're currently having, neck pain, so maybe a little bit of shoulder pain and some lower back pain. And you tell me all that information and you say, well, what's my case worth? And again, the answer is still, I don't know, because at this point you have an ER bill that I don't know how much it is. You have treatment that's done at the ER, and I don't know what they found. I don't know what diagnostic studies that they did. And I don't know what kind of treatment you're having now. And even if I did know that, I don't know what it's going to be in the future, because we only get to do this once. We only get to get you a settlement from the at-fault party one time. And if you are having these problems, I don't know what the future is going to hold. So I don't know how long it's going to take. Are you going to get better in a week? Are you going to get better in a month? Are you going to get better in 6 months? Are you not going to get better? If you don't get better with the current treatment you're at, what sort of treatment is it going to take to get better? Because remember, that's the goal, is to get you back better to the point where you were before the accident happened. That's kind of what the system is designed to do. So that's why they pay your medical bills, they pay your lost wages, they pay you for all the things you have out of pocket. They make sure you get the right care, and then we try to get you a settlement that represents the value for all of your pain and suffering. But again, we can't make that determination and try to figure out what that number is until much further down the line, okay?
That makes perfect sense, Aaron. I think it's interesting in that you made a number of points that to me make sense. But then for those who, they've been in an accident, they want instant gratification. If someone can give you that number, you're saying that may not be a good thing, because yes, they may be able to settle for that now, but you may find down the line that your case was worth much more, right?
Oh, absolutely. And so let's say I have clients sometimes that we're pretty far into the process and they're still in pain, they're still having problems. Look, I just want to be done. Just get me a settlement. And I can do that, okay? That's something I could absolutely do, but I always caution you. I was like, look, if you're still having problems, if you're still having pain, let's say we're 3 months in, and they want to refer you to another medical provider, because that's kind of how medical care works in most of these scenarios, is you kind of start out with a little bit and to see if that works and if that helps you. And if that doesn't, then that medical provider may say, okay, we need to look at something else, because there's something going on here that whatever treatment we're providing you isn't working. So we need to find something else. Maybe you need to go see a different sort of doctor, orthopedic clinic, something like that. Maybe you need injections, surgery, some other form of treatment. Maybe you just need long-term chronic care. And if we're not to that stage yet, and we don't know what the future is going to hold, and we can't even make an educated guess about what that future is going to hold, and you say, look, settle my case. And then 6 months from now, the doctors, as they've gone through this escalation of care, they may say, you need a spinal fusion. You need a lumbar L3-4 or 4-5 spinal fusion, and you come back to me and say, Aaron, I know you got me $15,000, and that was great, and I appreciate that, but my case, I mean, I need all this surgery, I need this care. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills. I mean, who's going to pay for this surgery? We need to go back and get more money, and I can't do that because you sign a release. That's it. You're done. Okay?
Wow.
So in order to get a settlement, you either have to be better so that we can look back and see all of the care that you got, see what all of your medical bills are, and then make a determination of what the value of that claim is and negotiate it and hopefully get that value or more. Or you need to be in a position where we can get a doctor who can examine you and determine and look into the future and say, within a reasonable degree of medical probability, that's like magical legal language that they have to say, that you're going to need this sort of care. You're going to need this sort of care, this sort of treatment, and it's going to cost this much. So that we can then get you a settlement or a verdict from a jury that encompasses all of that so that you have that in case you do in fact need those sorts of things.
Wow. Aaron, this is really good information. So you touched upon my next question. Actually, you talked pretty extensively on it, but maybe you can expand. So the next question I would think you would get, well, all right, if I don't settle immediately, how long will this process take? It sounds like that's very individualized as well.
It's absolutely individualized. So if I always tell people, like, look, if you get better and we're just dealing with the insurance company with a simple request of medical records, a simple demand, and negotiation, that process alone takes usually about 3 months, okay? Because from the date you get better, okay, so you finish treatment, you call me on the phone, you say, Aaron, I've been discharged from my doctor today, I don't have any future appointments, and I feel better. Then I say, great, and I request those medical records. And I say, give me at least 30 days to get those records in, because sometimes it takes longer. And frankly, right now, with the way the virus and everything is kind of delayed, everything is running back slower. But in a normal case, 30 days. So I get the records in, I get a demand out. Insurance companies have to give me an offer, or at least give me a response to the demand, which is usually in the form of an offer within 30 days after they get it. So that's 60 days. Figure time to negotiate, go back and forth, talk to you, get authority, get a check in, that's another month. 3 months. Wow. But that's pretty basic, and that's pretty general. Every case is certainly individualized.
Something that has become very apparent in these conversations with you, Aaron, is communication is key with you and your client, and that's something you're very big on, keeping them updated on how their case is going, accepting their phone calls. That's what I think really kind of separates you from other law firms, correct?
Absolutely. So communication is key, and it can be difficult sometimes. You know, everybody wants different levels of communication, and we have a certain level of communication, and sometimes somebody wants more communication than even we provide, and that's why I always give them access to my cell phone. So if all push comes to shove and you want to talk to somebody right now, you call me on this phone right here that I have in my pocket, and it goes to me. And you will reach me. And if I can't pick up because I'm doing something like this, or I'm talking to a client, or I'm in court, or I'm doing something, you leave a message, you will absolutely 100% get a call back. We also have a texting system within the office where we can actually text you and get responses back from you within the case file itself. So there's always a record of you calling or texting or whatever else there is.
Excellent information. Again, he's Aaron Whaley. It's the Whaley Law Firm. You see the information on the screen. If you're in an injury, many reasons, and a lot of them is because this guy has great experience, a great resume. Aaron, thank you for the information.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All right, really appreciate it. All right.